What's going on? Welcome to Asian Cosell. If you can give me the HKO special, help the king out. Hit the like, subscribe, and comment. All right, so let's get into this. Matt Araiza. Jeez. Let's get into it by an article by Outkick. So canceled athletes get eventual vindication, but not before losing out on so much. Yes. So this is an article. And following the Super Bowl victory, the Kansas City Chiefs are back in the headlines for signing punter Matt Araiza. Unfortunately for Araiza, he may be best known for being released by the Buffalo Bills in August of 22, only 2 days after a lawsuit was filed against him and two others for allegedly raping a 17-year-old girl in 21. And no criminal charges have ever been filed or ever were. And Araiza has even formally responded to the lawsuit at the time of his hasty release by the Bills. After nearly 2 seasons, plaintiff Araiza agreed to drop their respective claims in December of 23. So there we go. And we will never know what really happened between them, although given the lack of criminal charge or voluntary dismissal of the lawsuit, no payout, the Araiza reservation of this right to sue the plaintiff lawyer, we can assume it was not as she alleged. So, yep, athletes are vulnerable to false accusations. So, fire first and ask questions later is a reality for athletes and other famous targets accused of wrongdoing. But athletes are uniquely vulnerable in ways other celebrities and professionals aren't. Athletes have a very short life compared to movie stars, musicians, and even your average doctor, lawyer, accountant. Other professionals, famous or not, simply have a much longer runway to work and earn and not as vulnerable to a multi-year pause in their careers. So according to studies, the average professional athlete retires in his 20s. Football players typically have short careers. Football playing years are like dog years. 2 years of Araiza not playing enough could ultimately mean false accusation of bench him for half of his career. A movie star shunned by studio for years can return and take on new and different roles. Unlike the old days, movie stars aren't contracted for a certain studio. So there's more flexibility to take their talents elsewhere, not always for athletes. Even in the case of non-famous professional, young doctor placed on temporary leave can return and practice for 30 more years. Not so for athletes. Like the Trevor Bauer situation, similar. Luckily for Riza, a marquee team is taking a second chance on him, which, despite his near vindication, is not a guaranteed in this day and age. And contrast, Ariza's rehiring to Trevor Bauer, the former Major League star pitcher, on leave, suspended, eventually released by the Dodgers over sexual assault allegations. Before those allegations were fully vetted and resolved. Yeah. So as it turned out, there were two sides to the sexual encounters Bauer had with this accuser, Lindsey Hill. Bauer vigorously defended himself and even released evidence directly contradicting Hill's claims. Still without any MLB offers, Bauer played last season in Japan, less money, less prestige, and at 33, heading into his baseball golden years. So even college athletes face the same vulnerabilities. For these non-professionals, perhaps worse, because roster decisions based on unproven allegations may prevent them from ever entering the professional arena, even for a short time. Sean Oakman, a former star football player for Baylor University, was indicted for sexual assault 2 weeks before the 16 draft. Despite a promising future, he was deemed undraftable. A jury ultimately acquitted him. He now plays football amid in Canada years and opportunities lost, only for eventual vindication by a jury of his peers. And it's just not that individual affected by false allegations and swift condemnation from sports organizations before a full and complete vetting. Three Duke lacrosse players were falsely accused of rape and not cleared of any wrongdoing, but not before the lacrosse coach was fired and the remaining 2006 lacrosse season suspended, impacting everyone on the team. So thankfully, hashtag #MeToo movement knee jerks believe all women's stranglehold has lessened, but the fear of cancellation in public ear by teams can significantly impact the roster and players. So negative allegations against players should be handled with more discretion and less hand wringing. Sports teams need to take more measured and direct approach to the inevitable negative allegations lodged against players. Not only accusation on context and fluid exploration of the facts ruin careers but lives as well. So Araiza will never get these 2 football seasons back what he could otherwise have earned, and most importantly, his name without an asterisk. As society, we must stop thoroughly examine allegations against people before making decisions that will have long-lasting, not devastating consequences. We want the same courage, no matter our status, wealth, or fame. So yeah, luckily in the case of Araiza, I mean, he's a punter, so he could maybe do 15 years. But imagine if he was a running back or wide receiver or quarterback or any other position, that 2 years is like a whole career. I mean, it's cut short. So, yeah, it's just devastating and BS. So, yeah, so you got to think about those things, and sometimes it's like, well, are we at a point where why even be around chicks? And another thing is he wasn't even around that chick at the time. So he was actually somewhere else. So I don't get it. It's just so screwed up and double standards, especially. And luckily, yeah, he can stay a while, but the other positions, no. So just something to think about. So, yep. So there you go. But yep, Trevor Ariza, I think he might, maybe if he makes a team, he's going to stick it to Buffalo when he punts those extra 20 yards. And that could be, another loss for Buffalo, just to say. But yeah, so there we go. So if you enjoyed any of this content, please give me the HKO special. Help the king out. Hit the like, subscribe, and comment. So other than that, I will see you in my next video.